file of Kathy and Amanda. I want to say what the hell right now. And I'll have to tell you that Jessica Tyson from the development office, who and I go a long way back, reminded me when Tracy asked me to present her the award. She says, "No, Amy, you know you only have 3 minutes. I know you, and you like to stand up there and talk." And then Tracy kindly reminded me, that I'm limited to what I can say as far as the length of time. So I have to tell you that it's a joy to be here today, to stand before you and present this award. And 3 of the greatest people I know, 3 of my favorite people, I only have about 6, Kathy, Amanda, and Tracy, that you are being recognized and presenting the awards today. So I'm glad that I could be here. And what a great day to be a Bulldog. What a great celebration we have today. I'm very excited. Tracy and I have a history that goes back to, 1993, 94, when Tracy became a Barton Bulldog and a sister of Sigma Sigma Sigma. It was my senior year here and Tracy's freshman year. As fate would have it, the succession of Tri-Sigma chapter advisors are in the room today, and we bounced back to about 30 years or more. Kathy started it all when I was a student here. Kathy was our chapter advisor. It wasn't long that after I graduated and came back, joined the board, Kathy asked would I take the succession of the chapter advisor role, and I gladly said that. Of course, Tracy was a student not long after she, of course, graduated, and I thought, well, let's have Tracy join the alumni board. So she did, and it wasn't long to see that she was ready to be passed the torch of becoming a chapter advisor too. So it's an honor to initialize the process when Kathy passed it to me, and the level of trust I think that she allowed me as a young 24-year-old to take the torch and then to pass it to Tracy. Tracy's love and devotion to Sigma is like none other. It showed when she was a student here. Look at who we have here today supporting her Tri-Sigma sisters. So it's an honor that, of course, that torch could have been passed, and that's how a lot of her work here began, with her work as Sigma and then as an alumni and certainly working as a chapter advisor. Soon after you graduated in 98, or the end of 97, Tracy, you came aboard, and there was no one else that I trusted more, as Kathy trusted in me, to handle the day-to-day operations of 40 young women and to instill in them in lots of the characteristics that we at Sigma wish to share with our young women in our chapters. Strong womanly character, high standards of conduct and integrity, because that is what she has. And to develop these young women to become leaders themselves. I think she has done a great job at that. So once again, the torch was passed, Tracy took the helm, and there it has remained. For 21 years since, it has remained in Tracy's hands. And as the saying goes, there's no stopping her now. Tracy has been and is a mentor, a friend, a mother, a role model to hundreds of young women who have come through this land that we call Barton College over these past 21 years as chapter advisor. And it shows. She was named Greek Advisor of the Year in 2003, 2009, 2019. Did I miss any? And it doesn't stop there. In the year 2008 and 9, she was awarded the Sigma 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 Outstanding Advisor of the Area. In 2013-14, the Sigma Advisor of the Region. She may just be the longest serving advisor in Gamma Z history, and I don't know what else we can do now but to sculpt the first purple and pearl Greek statue and mount it on the hall. What else can we do? In addition to her local service right here at Barton and some of the regional service, Tracy has continued to serve our national headquarters in many different ways, and I'll share some of those with you. The National Accreditation Review Board. Some of these I don't even know what they were and don't remember that they used to exist when I was a chapter advisor. Foundation Scholarship Review Committee, the Alumni Engagement Coordinator, the National Nominating Committee, the Convention Delegate Coordinator, the Campus Advisory Board National Coordinator. And there's so much other work that she's done that quite often doesn't come to the forefront of what we see. Tri Sigma and Gamma Z couldn't contain her. She began her service to the Barton College Alumni Association about 13 years ago. As a board member, she served on several committees, starting off admissions, nominations and awards, and special events. Tracy's leadership capabilities led her to become the first vice president position, which was a 3-year term that she held back in 2013 and until 2016. And just earlier this spring, Tracy completed her tenure as president of the Alumni Association after her having served 3 years also, 2016 to 19. As president of the Alumni Association, she was a member of the Board of Trustees as well, Dr. Tracy. I know you appreciate her service there. Though her time of the Alumni Association, the Board of Trustees, has ended, she still serves the Barton community through the Football Implementation Committee that started a couple of years ago and supports our community at countless athletic events and others. By the way, have you ever stood beside Tracy when her meek and mild little body belts out a congratulatory yell at any sporting event? If you've not witnessed that, come on out to the next soccer game or attend one of her son's soccer games and you'll hear that. Tracy's the biggest cheerleader I know. Her love for this institution and its students is unmatched by most of our alumni. You bleed blue and purple. Here are some words that immediately came to my mind when I think of Tracy and the service that you've given this college and you've given the single ladies. I can see the yours. You've been steadfast, loyal, dedicated, determined, tireless, unselfish, faithful, cheerleader, and love. While it may seem that Tri Sigma, the Alumni Association, and the Board of Trustees is a full-time job, it's actually not. BNT takes the honors of that for the past 16 years. We are forever indebted to Tracy and the service to this institution and to the Barton family. We thank you for your love, your time, your commitment to make this place our home and your home. But we also can't forget your home and your family, just as what was said about Amanda. Scott and Ethan, you sacrificed all of Ethan's life. He's never known anything but Sigma. He's never known anything but Barton. We thank you for the sacrifices that you've given to allow Tracy to serve this institution. There's been a lot. There's been a lot that Tracy didn't attend because of her love for this institution. That you know that we're glad to have you as a part of this family too. We're glad to have you as our honorary Sigmas, our honorary alumni at Barton College. It is a joy, Tracy, to have worked with you, to know you as a student, to know you now as an alumni, as a friend. So please come forward at this time to accept your award. And I'm not quite through. Bear with me for just a moment. Scott and Ethan, will you please come forward? Because of the sacrifices that you have given, you get an award too. So we have these lovely little trophies. You will always be first place to Tracy. Ethan, you are the MVS, the most valuable son. Scott has been our right-hand Sigma man. Whenever Tracy calls, as he said earlier at the table, he's going to listen. He's going to do. He has been trained well as a husband. You are the
Yes,
the most valuable husband, and you will always be first place in Tracy, despite the work that she does here and the sacrifices that you make. So thank you.
Well, I agree with Amy. It really sucks to go after Kathy and Amanda. So a couple of years ago, when Amy received her Distinguished Alumni Award, I was her presenter, and we followed the same duo. So whoever comes up with this list, this is not cool because Amanda always gets me crying anyway. So several people have asked me, oh, I can't believe you're not in Barton blue today. You're always wearing Barton blue. And I have a closet full of Barton blue. And I thought, well, my love for Barton, everybody knows, and so I'm always wearing Barton blue. So I thought it'd be a perfect day to wear BB&T burgundy, since there's some great things here today. Well, I must say that it feels very strange to be able to sit back and relax and enjoy this event from the crowd instead of hosting it. Although I was a little nervous with Amy Denton and what she would say today since we were in college together, and my mom is here today. I really appreciate everything you did today. I would like to extend congratulations to my fellow award recipients for their recognition and achievements as well. Amanda and I met way back in 1993, and we have come a long way in our friendship and become true friends over the years, and I value our relationship and appreciate everything that she pours into this campus each and every day. I would like to thank the Barton Alumni Board for this very special honor, as there are a number of people way more deserving of this award. It has been an absolute pleasure serving with fellow alumni on the board for the past 12 years, but the past 3 have been extra special as they trusted me as their fearless leader. I challenged the board to think outside of the box and bend on our mindset from what our service to the college would look like, especially when it came to supporting our students. That's why we're here. At times, I think they thought I was a little crazy, and they rolled up their sleeves anyway and never backed down from an idea or a challenge. I share this award with them as they did a really good job at making me look very good over the past 3 years. My service to Barton goes hand in hand with my service to Tri Sigma. Had I not come to Barton, I may have never joined a sorority. Had I not joined a sorority, I may not have met the amazing group of women whom I am blessed to be sisters and have the dearest of friends. They are my lifeline, and have Barton to thank for introducing me to the wonderful world of sister friends. I owe special thanks to the Sigma sisters who serve on the chapter advisor board with me, as they have no doubt had to pick up a lot of my slack at times when my duty as alumni board president or board of trustee member has to take precedence over my role as chapter advisor. I appreciate them so much. I'm especially grateful for Kathy Doughty and Amy Denton. They both hold a special place in my heart as they showed me what it means to be a steadfast Tri Sigma and a servant to Barton College. Thank you both. I appreciate their love and support over the years and will treasure everything that Amy shared today and having this shared experience with her receiving an award of being her presenter and now today. I'm grateful to work for BB&T as they support their associates to give back to the communities in which we live and serve. I'm especially grateful for my manager, Nancy Owens, and also Harold Williams, who are both alumnus of the college, for their constant support and allowing me to take on my service roles for the college. Nancy has been incredibly understanding of my very crazy schedule over the years and has seriously been one of my biggest cheerleaders. I'm very blessed to have her as my boss, my friend and my sorority sister. Pretty good package. While my paid gig is with BB&T, Quite often, people ask me, so what department do you work in at Barton? Like weekly, they ask me this. They look really confused when I tell them, oh, I don't work at Barton. They typically follow with, oh, I thought you were there. I thought you worked there since you're there so much. And I simply smile and tell them that Barton is the family I chose for myself, and it's just my second home. As I mentioned earlier, my mom is here with me today. I would ask her to stand up, but you wouldn't be able to see her anyway, so don't worry. I get my height and my sarcasm from my dad. I get my feistiness and my independent attitude from my mama. Or, as my husband would call it, stubbornness. I get my southern cooking skills and my work ethic from my grandparents. I was raised to be someone people could depend on, to always lend a helping hand, and to put others first. And that when I wanted something done right, I better just do it myself. I think both my parents cried when they moved me into Barton my freshman year, because they knew deep down that I would plant my roots and flourish at the place that I've ended up calling my forever home. I'm thankful my mom could be here with me today, and know that my dad and my grandparents are here in spirit, because so much of who I am is because of the influence they had in my life. A lot of people go throughout their life never fully understanding what their purpose is. I have known for a very long time that my purpose is to serve others, and to be involved in the things that matter in my life. This brings me to the biggest thanks that I owe to my husband Scott and to my son Ethan. Now, Scott knew what he was getting into when he proposed to me my senior year of college. He knew that Barton was a very special place to me, and that I had Tri-Sigma way before he came along. Over time of our conversations, as we look ahead at what's coming up in our week, he typically will start out by saying, so what do you have at Barton this week? Well, I know quite often it has been aggravating being married to Miss Volunteer for everything. He has buckled up and joined me on this journey and become a rock star Sigma husband who has more Barton gear than he does NC State gear now, and he truly enjoys being on the sidelines cheering on the Bulldogs. While I know my schedule drives him crazy, he is truly my biggest supporter and understands who I am, and he loves me anyway. Ethan, on the other hand, was born into this crazy life of not only being his mom, but a mom away from home for hundreds of Sigma sisters, hearing about all things Barton ever since I was carrying him. He was here at Greek Sing, he was here at Sigma meetings, he was here at everything, bouncing around and learning everything. I'm pretty sure his love of Sour Patch Kids and Skittles is due to Tony Tilley, giving him a pound of each every time that he was on campus as a kid. I should really send Tony our dental bill over tears. I know that sharing me has not been easy. Although I do miss being involved with the Alumni Board, the end of my term came at a perfect time as Ethan is a junior in high school. The most important and rewarding role I have is being So now it is my turn as a parent to take college tours and look ahead to his senior year and his future plans. My hope for him is that he finds his second home, and when there is an opportunity to get involved, he will be the first to raise his hand and ask how he can help. Being nominated for the Alumni Service Award was an honor in itself. Receiving it is very humbling and something I will treasure. We are all called to serve, and I can't think of a better place to serve than at Barton College. Thank you.